look at, we're the only ones on Friday nights.
Are you going to be nice?
Wait,
Yes, we're gonna be
Yes,
nice.
yes, yes.
The ladies.
What's the biggest challenge for Security Council to adopt a resolution for ceasefire or whatever you call humanitarian ceasefire?
Vanessa, do you want to answer that? I think the biggest challenge for the Council to adopt a resolution is that there are different views about how to respond to this crisis on the ground. I think the UAE and Malta, we've just left from some close consultations on the possible outcomes of the Council and of the meeting today. This is the fourth meeting the UAE has called on the crisis in Gaza and the West Bank since the 7th of October. And we will keep the spotlight on this crisis. Today, Dr. Tedros and the head of the Palestinian Red Crescent Society gave a devastating account of the spiraling, deteriorating health conditions on the ground. I mean, we're really talking about a health system that is on its knees, where women are giving birth without anesthesia, without medication, where children with severe burns don't have the treatment and the antibiotics they need to get well, where thousands are under the rubble and are not being helped and assisted, many of them children, hundreds of them children. So we're really in a desperate situation, and I think we continue to raise the spotlight on that situation through these council discussions. And of course, behind the scenes, we continue to work hard to try and help these humanitarian pauses become extended longer, to get the life-saving assistance in and the humanitarian workers in a way that is safe. But that cannot happen without a sustained ceasefire or truce or extended pauses. So we are working very, very hard on all of those fronts.
Ambassador, did you see the fact that everybody stood in a moment of silence for both Israel victims and Palestinian victims as progress?
Well, the UAE, of course there has, and the UAE called for that moment of silence.
Right.
And the UAE requested the president, because we haven't stood in a moment of silence for any of the victims yet, including almost 100 UN workers who have lost their lives. 100 UN workers have lost their lives, and that should be recognized. They paid the ultimate price doing their job, doing their life-saving work on the ground. So yes, I see that, and I see the Chinese presidency as having guided a very important month of discussion on this. I know it's frustrating not to see outcome. We're all frustrated and working hard to try and see outcome from these deliberations, and I think we are getting closer.
Ambassador, but it still looks like a déjà vu. You call the meeting and people talk, and outside this building, the public opinion in the world think that the Security Council is useless. At this point, is it important at least to go ahead with the resolution and give the responsibility to the countries to decide and show the world who is for the resolution or who is still has a
I
reservation?
don't think that's how our position should be, to put people with their backs to the wall. We are looking to save lives over here, and to have something which is important and vital, and to give support and for the people who are in this conflict to understand that there are others who are concerned about them and trying to help them. I think that these briefings are very important that we are doing. We never have an outcome from each and every individual meeting, but each time we have a meeting, especially like today, where we heard very moving and distressing briefings, it helps very much for us to move always closer and closer to be able to take some action.
So where do you stand now with the resolution?
We are closer than ever, Zola. I really don't want to say anything more, because you know that the devil is in the detail and everything is all about words. So I don't want to talk about words, because I don't want to say anything which will be compromised. But it is closer than ever.
I think we're increasing the pressure, we're increasing the profile and the focus, we're increasing the desperate need of civilians on the ground, including health workers, doctors, medical workers, UN workers. That's all incredibly important. We have a GA resolution of 121 countries that we bring into the Council to discuss elements of a possible product. Of course, the UN Security Council is one piece of the whole UN response and architecture. There are numerous agencies who are trying to do their own negotiations and work on ground. The Security Council's role is to enable that and to make it operationalized. And so we don't want to limit it, we don't want to impact it negatively, we want to help them operationalize what they are already doing on the ground, and that's what we're working towards doing. And thank you very much for sticking around on a Friday evening. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for answering.
Have a great weekend.